Tonight in Love Live at 6, these are our leading stories. The PSU tells public officers not to participate in the Neo People pilot program. Health Minister Kevin Bernard denies Cuban medical workers are being quietly sent home. Belize and Honduras see closer cooperation in health, trade and security. The judiciary honors Edmund Pennell's extraordinary 64 years of service, and Tracy Panton rejects claims the UDP needs to be a stronger opposition. Belize Cancer Society launches a new push for a tobacco-free Belize. Mexico's high electricity demand triggers the threat of further load shedding, and the Belize Bus Association calls for electric bus expansion to be suspended amid the country's energy problems. And 787 delegates to vote in Sunday's PUP convention in Belize City. Stay with us for those stories and more in tonight's Love Live at 6. We'll be right back.
Commercial Cleaning and Products of Belize, CCP, formerly known as Carpet Care Plus, offers a wide variety of professional restorative cleaning services and products in Belize. With over 20 years of experience in the industry, our mission has always been to provide our customers with the best products and services for quality, safe, and environmentally friendly cleaning. What separates us from the rest? The services we offer. Fabric cleaning for all types of carpets, upholstery, walls, and drapes. Vehicle detailing for both the interior and exterior. Total restorative cleaning of ceramic and porcelain tiles for floors, walls, marble, granite, limestone, travertine, clay, and more. Degreasing and polishing of the entire kitchen and all its equipment. Also custom concrete designs. We are a supplier of the most cost-efficient and economically viable products when you buy our specialized super concentrated formulas, such as cleaners, disinfectants, deodorizers, and sanitizers. Additionally, we also carry professional cleaning equipment, such as mops, buckets, vacuums, doormats, and window equipment, which are very durable and practical. You can order any of our products online at www.ccpbelize.com. CCP Belize uses only trained technicians, professional commercialized equipment, and EPA certified products. Our products are 100% biodegradable. We also have certified green products, which are used by Green Globe approved companies. Visit us at 68 North Front Street, Belize City, or contact us at telephone 223-1820. Email us info@ccpbelize.com.
Need to submit your sickness benefit claim online and have a physical medical certificate? Here's how you can do it. First, go to ssbportal.org.bz and log into your My Social Security account. Next, on your dashboard, click Benefits and choose Forms. Review the requirements, then click Continue to proceed. Click Apply under Sickness Benefit to start your claim. Review and confirm your banking information. If it is not correct, select No and follow the steps to update your banking details. If your banking information is correct, select Yes. Next, if your illness is not related to an injury at work, select No and proceed to upload your medical certificate. Select your claim period and confirm your employer details. Read the declarations and click each to agree. Click Submit and you're done. A confirmation email will be sent to you. Your employer will also receive an email with your claim details and a request for your salary information. If needed, submit your sickness benefit claim online and receive real-time status updates.
BTB Accommodations License Renewal 2026 opens August 1st through the online portal. BTB is also having its license renewal clinic countrywide, starting August 10th in Corozal, then in Orange Walk, Key Cocker, San Pedro, Hopkins, Placencia, Toledo, Belize City, San Ignacio, and Belmopan. Remember, to successfully process your renewal at the clinic, managers with portal access must bring updated electronic copies of renewal requirements. Licenses will be ready the same day at the clinic. Accommodations operating beyond October 31st, 2026 without successfully completing the renewal process will receive a violation ticket. Operating without a valid license commits an offense. For more information, please contact our compliance officers at 227-2420 extension pound 247. Email hotels@BelizeTourismBoard.org or WhatsApp us at 635-3688. Renew your BTB accommodation license through the online portal starting August 1st, 2026, or look out for the renewal clinic near you.
It's time again to raise your flag and win with love.
Make your patriotism fly high with a beautiful Belizean flag, cause this September, love one day every way.
Start decorating with our national colors, our symbols, the Belizean flag, anything that shows you're a proud and true Belizean.
Then we will test how well you know your country. Get the answer correct and you could walk away with a nice prize.
Schools across Belize, turn those classrooms into a celebration of Belize for a chance to become a winner. And businesses, we're calling on you too. Show off your Belizean pride and you could be rewarded.
Haste, make waste. Put up them flags and make a powerful statement. Look at me, I am Belize at 45.
Raise your flag and win with love, starting September 1st.
Belizean people. Raise Your Flag grant sponsors 2026R BYD, official automotive partner of Raise Your Flag and Win with Love 2026. National Institute of Culture and History Niche, Office of the Prime Minister, Benny's Home Center, Sol Belize, Blue Bond and Finance Permanence Unit, Design Depot, Ministry of Public Service and Disaster Risk Management.
Belizean people, raise your flag and win with love. Raise your flag and win with love.
Pelican is more than just brewed in Belize. It's made of Belize. And being made of Belize means being authentic, unique, and proud. This is what that looks like. Pelican, the beer of Belize. There are many stories to be shared about what it means to be made of Belize. Join Pelican in celebrating our Belizean heritage by sharing your unique story. A few of these stories will be selected to be produced into Pelican Made of Belize videos. Those chosen will receive Pelican beer for a year and will be invited to join us during production. Let's tell the stories of what it means to be made of Belize. Please send us a WhatsApp message at 630-6519 or email us at madeofbelize@skz.bz.
Good evening. This is the evening news here on Love Television for today, August 27, 2026. 2026. I am Ernesto Vasquez. The Public Service Union of Belize, the PSU, is instructing public officers not to participate in the government's new People Human Resource Management Information System pilot program until several legal, privacy and procedural matters are resolved. The pilot is intended to onboard selected public officers onto the new digital human resource system, including the review and updating of employees' personal information. However, the PSU says the program was launched without the union's consent, and while discussions with the Ministry of the Public Service were still ongoing. In a circular issued today, the union says it wants employee registration suspended until a legally binding memorandum of understanding is finalized. It is also demanding disclosure of the Neo People contract, the appointment of a data privacy officer, and the release of a completed data protection impact assessment. The PSU is further seeking written confirmation that public officers who decline to provide biometric information will not face disciplinary action or any other disadvantage. It argues that employees' consent must be secured before personal or biometric information is collected. The union is also accusing the ministry of sharing the private email addresses of public officers with Neo People without their knowledge or consent, describing this as a serious privacy breach. Public officers who receive invitations or onboarding instructions are advised not to activate their accounts or provide personal or biometric information. They are also being told to preserve the communications and forward copies to the PSU. The union says it remains prepared to negotiate with the ministry through a proposed oversight committee and work towards a binding agreement. There has been no immediate response from the government to the PSU's latest circular. Meanwhile, the Belize Bus Association, the BBA, is calling on the National Bus Company and the Belize City Council to pause any further expansion of electric bus services until the country's electricity supply becomes more stable. The association says it supports cleaner transportation and the modernization of the public transport system. However, it argues that Belize should not move quickly into a wider electric bus transition while the country is experiencing load shedding and uncertainty over the supply of electricity from Mexico. The BBA says the recent power interruptions show that the national grid is already under pressure. It points to high demand in Mexico, which has forced CFE to limit the electricity supply to Belize, along with reduced hydroelectric generation and BEL's financial difficulties. The association also questions how additional electric buses would affect electricity demand. Using the battery capacity of the electric bus involved in the European Union-funded pilot project, the BBA estimates that a fleet of 100 buses could require between 35 and 37 megawatt hours of electricity for one complete charge. It says the demand could be even higher if buses operating long-distance routes require additional charging. The BBA is also warning of possible financial consequences for the government, arguing that increased electricity demand could place further pressure on BEL and lead to the need for additional government support. At the same time, a reduction in diesel could mean less fuel tax revenue for the government. The association says it previously requested access to the electric bus pilot data and asked to operate the EU-donated buses on existing BBA routes to test them under normal working conditions. According to the BBA, both requests were denied. The BBA maintains that an electric bus transition should not be treated as a national priority while homes and businesses continue to experience power interruptions. It is recommended that both the National Bus Company and the Belize City Council suspend any further expansion until BL can provide a stable and reliable electricity supply. Health and Wellness Minister Kevin Bernard has strongly rejected claims that members of the Cuban Medical Brigade are being quietly sent home, describing the suggestion as irresponsible and untrue. The issue surfaced after People's National Party activist Will Mejia posted a video from the airport showing a group of Cuban nationals preparing to leave Belize with their luggage. Mejia questioned whether their departure was connected to the uncertainty surrounding the future of the Cuban Medical Brigade. Minister Bernard says the video was presented without the proper context. He explained that Cuban healthcare workers are entitled to vacation leave and travel home at different times during the year. According to the minister, their departure should not be interpreted as evidence that Belize is gradually dismantling the program.
And it's so unfortunate to see somebody taking something out of context. The Cuban people who are here in Belize, they travel every year on vacation on different time of the year. Not everybody could go on vacation at the same time, and normally it is a norm that when they go back, they will take items to their families. So for Mr. Mejia, and I'll call his name because that was very responsible of him to go on social media, trying to paint a picture and as if it's fact. When that is far from true, these people are in our system working at this point in time. And as I said yesterday in response to the two media houses who reached out to me, they are ongoing diplomatic talks, that is, when it relates to the Cuban Brigade. These people continue to be employed and continue to work across our health system here in Belize. And we are hoping that at the end of the day, when these diplomatic talks are over, we can find an amicable solution as it relates to the Cuban Brigade. But I will continue to say that we appreciate the support that the Cuban people have been given to Belize, and there is no truth to us sending Cubans home one by one, as was insinuated in that social media post. And that's all I'll say about that.
The brigade's future has been under scrutiny as the United States continues to pressure regional governments to end their arrangements with Cuba. The U.S. State Department has characterized Cuba's overseas medical program as forced labor, an allegation Belize and several other Caribbean governments have challenged. Belize has maintained that Cuban healthcare professionals working here are paid directly through the government's payroll system. Bernard confirmed that diplomatic discussions between Belize and Cuba remain ongoing. He says the government is working to settle the outstanding issues and hopes to finalize the matter by the end of September.
So I believe that, as I said, the discussions are ongoing, and I believe that Cabinet will be briefed. We will be briefed in terms of what possible solutions we will have, and I'm hoping that by this September, and because both for the benefit of the Cuban Brigade, they want assurances as well, and so we need to ensure that we can solve this matter amicably and at the same time for benefit of our Belizean people, because again, these are people who are here in our health system providing a service. Yeah. So remember, these are fluid discussions that has to be taking place, and I know through the foreign ministry, there's a lot of discussion back and forth that we're talking about, talking to both the Cuban government in terms of how we will treat this program. As I said, I do want to say something that all the details that are not shared with me at this point in time, but all I can tell you that there have been some great discussions, both from the Cuban government, the embassy, through the embassy, and of course the Belizean government who is reaching out at the same time. And I will only say this, that again, these people have been here over many years, and the ones that are here right now on the program continue to be employed by the government of Belize and continue to provide that health service that we so desperately need, and to ensure that they are helping us to fill the human resource gaps across this country.
Other sources of healthcare professionals as part of its long-term planning and preparation for any possible changes. Bernard says, however, that these efforts do not support the claim that the Cuban medical personnel are currently being removed one by one. Until the diplomatic process is completed, the Cuban Medical Brigade remains active in Belize's public health care system. Meanwhile, government has earmarked $30 million for a 10-year investment aimed at training more Belizean healthcare professionals, reducing the country's dependence on foreign medical personnel. Health and Wellness Minister Bernard says the funding will support the training of doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers over the next decade. The program is intended to gradually fill long-standing vacancies within the public health system, particularly in specialized services and rural communities. He says the investment will be budgeted over the 10-year period, allowing government to continuously identify and support Belizeans pursuing careers in priority areas of healthcare.
The government had approved through Cabinet a $30 million investment program over a 10-year period for the next 10 years. where we will put out more training opportunities, more scholarship opportunities for our people to be able to be trained in nursing, in other specialty. And so we want to ensure that when you look down the road in Belize in the next 10 years, we have equipped individuals to fill those gaps. Because as you know, we have health professionals who are aging as well, and they will be retiring. So we have to fill that gap. And so it's a cycle. It's constant a cycle. We are looking at the Philippines, for example, to getting some nurses from Philippines to come in and help to fill the gaps. We have been discussing with the Nicaraguan government, as well, to try and see how we could get some specialized doctors to come in to fill the gaps. There's need for us to be able to fill these human. We are even looking at our partners in Mexico.
As Belize continues discussions on the future of the Cuban Medical Brigade, whose doctors, specialists, and nurses currently fill important gaps across the country. Bernard says that while foreign medical support remains valuable, Belize must continue building its own pool of trained professionals. As part of that effort, Bernard says the government has been affording doctors to go abroad for specialization skills.
We have constantly been doing things as a ministry. One, we've been sending out our doctors to be specialized. I know that right now we have about, I think, 5 doctors who will be coming back. 2 in nephrology, I think 2 in obstetrics, and I think 1 pediatrician. We had recently Dr. Kawich, who is a pediatric oncologist, who came back, and she is now at KHMH, and others that are out training in radiology and so forth in Taiwan. We will have some of these people coming back, but that's just a part of ensuring that we are equipping our doctors. But at the same time, the government is also looking at alternative areas and countries that we can tap into. For example, a recent visit in Honduras. We have the opportunity where we're hoping that after further discussions, because we just started the discussion, we could look at our Belizeans to be able to have access as well.
Bernard says government is also exploring similar arrangements with other countries and institutions. Belize and Honduras are moving to deepen cooperation in several key areas following an official visit led by Prime Minister John Briceño earlier this week. Prime Minister Briceño traveled to Tegucigalpa on Monday, where he met with Honduran President Nasri Asfura at the presidential house. The discussions focused on health, security, trade, climate change, regional integration, and improved connectivity between both countries. In the area of health, the 2 governments discussed possible collaboration in medical education, specialist training, and internship opportunities for Belizean healthcare workers. Health and Wellness Minister Bernard, who formed part of the Belizean delegation, says the visit opened the door for practical partnerships that could help Belize expand its medical workforce.
Of course, the Prime Minister went on an official visit, but part of it was for me to be able to also put out there that propose a MOU that we could share with the Honduran government. I know back in 1991, I think it was, they had an MOU where they were cultural and educational exchange. So we're saying, let's see if we could work on a medical exchange program, not just for us to attract doctors from Honduras, because they themselves, as I have said, they themselves have human resource shortages. Human resources shortages in health does not only apply to Belize, it applies to everybody across the region. So all of us have similar challenges. However, they have the opportunities where our Belizean doctors can access their education system as well to do their residency program. And so that's the type of exchange we are talking about. That's the type of discussion we are having, where we could have that mutual exchange of health professionals within both countries. And so, but again, that is just a start of a discussion. The technical people will have to meet on both ends, and then through diplomatic channel, we will finalize that sometime down the road. The president that we spoke to is the Minister of Health, and so that's his responsibility, and he was very receptive, very supportive, and was eager to say, let's get our two countries together to work on an MOU so that we could have that exchange worked out. So I'm very optimistic. It was a wonderful meeting, I can tell you that. But I'm not going to get into all the other details. I'm just speaking on the health side.
The leaders also explored the possibility of a trade agreement between Belize and Honduras. PM Briceño noted that Belize already has trade arrangements with Guatemala and recently signed a partial scope agreement with El Salvador. He says Honduras could become another important partner as Belize strengthens its economic ties with Central America. Security was another major part of the discussions. Both leaders agreed on the need for increased cooperation and intelligence sharing to tackle drug trafficking and other criminal activities that cross national borders. The meeting also covered regional air connectivity and opportunities to make it easier for people and goods to move between Central America and the Caribbean. The visit comes as Belize holds the pro tempore presidency of the Central American Integration System, CICA, for the second half of this year. PM Briceño says Belize will use that leadership role to advance regional cooperation while maintaining the country's long-standing Caribbean identity and relationship. Moving on, the Belize judiciary this morning honored the life and service of the late Edmund Oliver Pennell during a morning of reflection at the main courtroom on Treasury Lane in Belize City. The ceremony was held under the auspices of Chief Justice Louise Esther Blenman and brought together Pennell's family, members of the legal profession, and employees of the judiciary. Pennell joined the public service in 1958 at only 15 years old, beginning his career at the General Registry. He later served as Deputy Registrar of the High Court and Supervisor of the General Registry before retiring in 2022, following an extraordinary 64 years of service. Chief Justice Blenman was among those who paid tribute to Pennell, reflecting on his lasting contribution to Belize's justice system. Pennell was remembered for his professionalism, dedication, and extensive knowledge of court records and procedures. His experience and willingness to assist proved invaluable to generations of attorneys, judicial officers, court employees, and members of the public. Attorney Darrell Bradley spoke about the significant impact Pennell had on his own legal career.
We remember Mr. Pennell very fondly as the Deputy Registrar. He had a stint at the, if you can call it that, at the Supreme Court, serving some 64 years. He was really part of the institution, and we remember him very fondly. So this morning was a gathering of senior and junior attorneys, members of the family, members of the professional staff, in really celebration of his great legacy as a devoted public servant, as a person who was committed to integrity and honesty, accountability, the rule of law, and somebody who was really a mentor, a teacher, a friend to us all. And one of the things that was really shared, and I can remember this with a degree of fondness as well, whenever anyone had any questions, the go-to person, the repository of knowledge was always Mr. Pennell. He was instrumental in really seeing the General Registry and the wider judiciary move through its even birth. He was the Deputy Registrar serving at the time of independence, and so he would have been part of the creation of the independent registry under our first Belize Constitution of 1981. And so his legacy really looms large over all of us, and it's fitting that we should gather this morning. I was very honored that the Honorable Chief Justice convened us, and her words, of course, were very heartwarming.
Pennell's family also reflected on the man they knew outside the courtroom. His partner of more than 25 years, Rosalie Flowers, remembered both his professional dedication and his private life with the loved ones.
He retired. He was home with me all the time, you know. And up to the last time when he's taking sick, I noticed him. He was getting down. Go to the doctor. So when he come back, I said, what the doctor said? He said, everything is okay. I said, okay then. He was very dedicated to his work. As they say in there, he was the first one to reach and the last one to leave. He does work on Saturdays and Sundays. Even when he was at home, people called from the register to ask him questions. His legacy, I would have liked them to try and walk in his footsteps, you know? That's what I would have liked for them to do, because he was an honest man when he come to work. He was that kind of man. Bring back memories, I have to hold back tears. Because, you know, I still miss him.
Penel's passing marks the end of an era for Belize's judiciary, adding that his legacy will live on through the people he guided and the justice system he helped strengthen during more than 6 decades of public service. Opposition leader Tracy Panton is rejecting the suggestion that the United Democratic Party needs to do more to provide stronger opposition on national issues. During yesterday's UDP press conference, Panton was asked what the party must do to become a more effective opposition and concerns affecting the country. However, she challenged the premise of the question, maintaining that the UDP has been actively holding the government to account.
Your premise in asking the question is completely off. The suggestion is that the United Democratic Party is not extending its best efforts to deal with every issue. And they come fast and they come furious because there's a million moving parts with this government. And the United Democratic Party has done everything we can and will continue to do everything we can to address the issues. When last, may I ask, has the People's United Party hold a press conference? When last have we seen the Prime Minister of this country in the last 6 years speak directly to the people? When last have you seen the government engage with our social partners as meaningfully as we have? We have now agreed to do the quarterly meetings with the NTUCP because the government is unprepared to give them that meeting.
Keep going.
I am offended when anybody, particularly members of the independent media, will seek to hold an opposition that is fully engaged to a standard that you're not prepared to hold the government of today. All right. So I say to you, Paul, with much respect, that the premise is flawed. The premise of the question is flawed. And I think that our work, our accessibility, our availability to the people speaks for itself.
But Panton said the party continues to speak out on matters affecting Belizeans and to challenge government decisions both inside and outside the National Assembly, indicating that the UDP will continue presenting its position on national issues while offering what it believes are better alternatives for the country. The opposition leader's comments come as the UDP works to strengthen its public presence and present itself as a government in waiting ahead of the next municipal elections. In other news, the Belize Cancer Society has joined forces with the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids to strengthen efforts to reduce tobacco use and protect Belizeans from tobacco-related illnesses. Through the partnership, the two organizations will increase public awareness, work directly with communities, and advocate for stronger policies to reduce the use of exposure to tobacco products. Tobacco use is a major risk factor for several types of cancer, as well as heart and respiratory diseases. The campaign will place particular emphasis on preventing young people from using tobacco and empowering them to promote tobacco-free lifestyles in their schools, families, and communities. President of the Belize Cancer Society, Kim Simplis Barrow, explains why the partnership and its focus on the young people are important.
This is really a major step for Belize and for in terms of tobacco control. Belize Cancer Society is a proud recipient of a grant from Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, and it really will help us with our engagement in terms of tobacco control in our country. The great thing about it is at the heart of this campaign is youth. Our young people, really in terms of preventing them from the use of tobacco and nicotine products. The campaign will really, we're doing our strategic planning right now, and we have a number of young people in the room who will be guiding this campaign. So at the end of the session, we will know what this campaign will look like, because it will be, the strategic planning is youth engagement for them to give us the direction in which they would want to see. What Belize did they envision in terms of a smoke-free Belize? Prevention is one of the main pillars of the Belize Cancer Society, and it is a major objective of ours over the next few years that we will be focusing on. As we know, tobacco is one of the main cause of cancer in the world. And so for us, this really aligns squarely with the work that we do at the Belize Cancer Society.
The partnership will also support local research into the health, social, and economic effects of tobacco use. The information is expected to guide public education and the push for stronger tobacco control measures in Belize. The Belize Cancer Society says the initiative supports its wider work to reduce the impact of cancer through prevention, education, patient support, and advocacy, encouraging schools, parents, community organizations, policymakers, and the wider public to support the movement for a tobacco-free Belize. And Belizeans have faced repeated power interruptions in recent days as pressure continues to mount on the country's electricity supply. Belize Electricity Limited says Mexico's Comisión Federal de Electricidad, or the CFE, advised that it may have to reduce the power supplied to Belize because of high demand in Mexico. As a result, BL warned that temporary load shedding could become necessary to keep the national grid stable. A tentative load shedding schedule was issued today for portions of San Pedro, Belize City, and the Corozal district. BL explained that the areas and times could change depending on electricity demand and the amount of power available. The company also carried out a separate planned outage in parts of the Sangre district to install a utility pole, relocate high voltage lines, and clear hazardous vegetation. That interruption was maintenance related and was not part of the load shedding schedule. Belize relies on a combination of locally generated electricity and power imported from Mexico. When the available supply cannot meet national demand, BL temporarily cuts electricity to selected areas to prevent the wider system from becoming unstable. The situation has again highlighted the need for Belize to produce more of its own electricity. BL, the government, and the International Finance Corporation are working on a project that could add up to 80 megawatts of utility-scale solar power to the national grid. That project is intended to strengthen the country's energy supply and reduce its dependence on imported electricity. Minister of Health and Wellness, Bernard, is among those supporting a greater shift towards solar energy.
You know, this energy crisis, I don't like to go back to the past because people will say, oh, they blame the UDP. But you have to lay blame where it is. If there were a serious attention made to address the energy issue way back then, we wouldn't have had all of these problems. But this government has been making significant attempts and strides to ensuring that we address these problems. The solar project that will be coming on board pretty soon, and I know I can't get into it because I don't know all the detail in terms of the energy project, but I know that there are great steps being taken, and we are almost there, where we will see that also coming into play. But it's unfortunate, of course, that where we depend on most of our energy from CFE in Mexico, Belize needs to start to look at self-sufficiency, and I think that is why the solar project is very important. That we are putting our best foot forward to make sure that can come. But again, I think that Mr. Ambassador Young, who is now the executive chair of BL, has taken that BL now and start and pushing forward. I think that with him at the helm, there's going to be a lot of major changes, a lot of improvements, and I say, to me, I always say, let's give people the opportunity and the time for them to showcase what benefits can come. Government, of course, and I as a representative, of course, I have to empathize with our people at the same time for these blackouts that we have been seeing recently. And while there's a lot of perceptions out there, all I can tell you, I think that when CFE, when Mexico have issues, who do I think they want to cut off? They are cut off the other people and then cut off themselves first. And so that's what we face. We now need to ensure that we can provide and produce more energy in this country, and that's why I support the solar project.
And while solar development will not provide a full solution to the current interruptions, that additional generating capacity will form an important part of Belize's longer-term plan to meet rising electricity demand and improve our energy security. In political news, all eyes will be on Belize City this Sunday as the People's United Party holds its municipal convention to select the team that will represent the party in the March 2027 municipal elections. At the center of the convention is the highly anticipated mayoral race between city councillors Elude Miller and Alan Pollard Jr. Both men are experienced members of the Belize City Council and are now seeking the party's nomination to succeed Mayor Bernard Wagner. Miller, the current deputy mayor, has secured the backing of several members of the existing council and senior figures within the party. Pollard, a three-term councillor and former deputy mayor, has based his campaign on his experience, youth and plans for the future development of Belize City. Some 787 delegates drawn from the city's 10 constituencies will decide the outcome. They will also select 10 councillor candidates to complete the PUP's Belize City slate. PP Chairman Henry Charles Usher says voting will run from 9 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He says a system has been put in place to keep the process moving and prevent delegates from spending long periods waiting in line.
It's delegates, so there are slots for each constituency. So I think that each constituency drew straws and determined who would vote first, and then you have a time period when each constituency can go in and vote. So let's say if a delegate does not reach for that constituency during their they can still vote, but we want to at least have all of Pickstock, all of Collett, all of Fort George, of Lake Eye vote together so that the process can go smoothly. Just like any other election, you have ballot papers and people will be there. The candidates will be allowed to have scrutineers, will be allowed to have counters. You have the official counters working the team, and then you count the ballots. There are how many? 19 candidates for councillors. So that might take a little while. The mayoral race shouldn't take too long to count, but the councillor candidate race will. You have 19 because persons aren't going to vote, I don't believe, are going to vote straight down the line. They'll be choosing their candidates based on who they want to support. So that might take a little longer, but yeah, an hour and a half, we should be completed.
And Usher is encouraging delegates to follow the voting arrangements, arrive within the designated period. The Belize City Convention forms part of the PUP's ongoing process to finalize its candidates across all 9 municipalities ahead of next year's elections. And also government is moving to better manage Belize's growing public sector wage bill, which continues to take up a significant portion of the national budget. Minister Henry Charles Usher acknowledged that spending on salaries continues to increase. He said this is partly due to salary adjustments, the restoration of increments, the opening of new departments, and the hiring of employees to support additional government programs. Usher explains, however, that controlling the wage bill is not simply about reducing the number of public officers. He says government is developing a broader human resource strategy to ensure positions across the public service are properly defined and compensated.
Some of the challenges that we were faced in the public service was we kept spending more than was budgeted in terms of the wage bill. So every year you go through a budget exercise. Part of that budget exercise is to determine what your staff needs are. But during the course of the year, sometimes there are new projects that come in, or maybe an under-assessment was done in terms of staff needs. And so that exercise needed assistance to make sure that we were able to stay within those guidelines. Secondly, there was varied compensation for the same job categories, which is an issue. Well, I think it's also in the private sector, but certainly in the public sector, it creates a lot of anomalies. One of the overall objectives of this project is equal pay for equal work. If you are doing the same work, you should be getting the same pay. But because of different anomalies in the system with increments and when persons come in and maybe they have different levels of education, etc., there were areas where persons were being paid differently but doing the same job. That creates animosity between workers. I'm doing the same as you, but I'm being paid less than you, or vice versa. So that was another area. Number 3, we had to look at an integrated HR management system. An integrated digitized HR management system that is in sync, communicating with the financial management system, meaning the smart stream. You know, because those two systems have to be able to work together. Along with that, you have to look at areas like digital security, cyber security, the whole digital process, the digitization of the personnel files for public officers. These are all areas that we're working on under this project, and I'm very happy that we were able to get this thing through the House and to get it approved. Why? Because this will help in terms of the Ministry of Public Service being able to provide services to our service, the recipients of our service, public officers, because MPS is the HR arm of government. So we work on behalf of public officers, and we have to be able to provide better services to them when they want to apply for leave, when they want to apply to be transferred to a different post, promotions, etc. These processes will now be digitized. You'll be able to track your file easier so that at the time when you retire, there won't be these issues where something might be missing from your file and there are delays in you collecting your gratuity or your pension. These are all areas that we're trying to improve, and we're trying to work towards the system that is the best public service possible.
Here we have an update of an earlier story. The Ministry of Transportation has rejected the Belize Bus Association's claim that expanding the National Bus Company's electric bus fleet would place additional pressure on the national electricity grid. The response follows the BBA's call for the National Bus Company and the Belize City Council to suspend any further expansion of electric bus services until Belize's power supply becomes more stable. The association argues that adding more electric buses at a time of load shedding, uncertainty over electricity imports from Mexico, and financial pressure at BTL would be irresponsible. It estimated that charging a fleet of 100 electric buses could create significant additional demand. Well, the ministry says the BBA's argument is based on misinformation because it does not account for how the NBC buses will be powered. According to the ministry, the charging stations for the electric buses for the National Bus Company will rely primarily on solar energy. Belize Electricity Limited will serve only as a secondary source of power. The ministry says this arrangement has been publicly explained on several occasions. Its response suggests that the electric bus program will not depend mainly on BEL's national grid, as the Bus Association contends. The BBA has maintained that it supports cleaner and more modern public transportation, but believes Belize must first stabilize its electricity supply. The ministry has given no indication that the government intends to pause the National Bus Company's electric bus program. Stay with us. We have more news up ahead immediately after this commercial break. Stay with us, please.
Belize, the king of soca, returns to the Jewel after 10 years. Marshall Montano with his full band and dancers to give you the encore soca and culture fest experience. Belize Tourism Board, Belize Bank, Cellular World and Digi, our national telecom, present the 12th annual Guinness Soca and Culture Fest. Sunday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center. And if you think last year was great, this year will be even greater. Doors open at 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. Also featuring St. Martin's Juggling and Dancing Queen, DJ BB Bad, and General Super G, Belize's Soca Queen, Ernestine, Belize's Soca Don Dada, TR Shine, Belize's top DJs, plus more.
Get your tickets now. General admission $80, VIP $215, Ultra VIP $365, and limited Sky Deck for $500.
So mark the date for the 12th annual Soca and Culture Fest Encore Experience, featuring the King of Soca, Marshall Montano.
Sponsored by
people, not businesses, power the economy. And they deserve to be acknowledged, appreciated, and compensated for their efforts. Because when your people are successful, so is your business. Neo People, simplify your HR and payroll needs with one powerful solution.
From a well-established hardware store, now we online giving you more. Home or job site, no stress, no sweat. Everything you need, you could get. Household appliances, day or night. Shopping for supplies made easy and light. Click, click, boom, and the order done. Building in Belize just got more fun.
Why wait long in a line? Save your energy and your time. Delivery pulling up right by your gate. Castillo's hardware making building great.
Build smarter, shop easier.
Castillo's making life sweeter.
Anytime,
Anywhere, hardware shopping without a care.
browse online, get what you need.
Fast and easy with lightning speed.
Pick up or delivery, choose your way.
Castillo's got you covered every day. From your phone, just tap and buy. No more hassle, no more.
Do it best with Castillo's Hardware.
Belize, you feel it yet? Carnival season there. Creole Heartbeat there too. One brand new showcase band celebrating for we Creole culture with rhythm, with pride. Come wear the beautiful costumes. We talking you on the road. Join the band. Call 600-7453 or email creoleheartbeat@gmail.com. Creole Heartbeat, come feel the rhythm.
The BCCI's Expo Belize Marketplace is back and celebrating 30 years of Belizean innovation, enterprise, and business. Save the date and join us on Saturday, September 12 and Sunday, September 13, 2026 at the Marion Jones Sports Complex in Belize City from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Experience Belize's premier marketplace where entrepreneurship and opportunity come together under one roof. From exclusive deals and promotions to delicious food, drinks, and live entertainment, the Expo Belize Marketplace has something for everyone. Whether you're shopping, networking, discovering what's new, or simply enjoying the Expo vibes, this is one event you don't want to miss. Celebrate 30 years of business excellence with us at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2026, where Belize does business. See you there. Sponsors include
North, South, East, and West. Belize City will have the best Lobster Fest. BNS Beach and Northern Fishermen Cooperative presents Lobster Fest Beach Party.
August 29th and 30th. Come be a part of this 2 days event at the BNS Beach. 3 3/4 miles George Price Highway. Food and drinks will be on sale. Then, who will be Belize's best chef? As we have lobster cook-off competition, kayak race, chocolate mud wrestling, greasy pole, bouncy house, and a whole lot more.
They can't stop you. Do what you want.
Live entertainment by Vida Mugs and Taprit. So make it a date. Don't be late. August 29th and 30th, BNS Beach, Lobster Fest. Admission, $15 adults, $5 kids. Gates open at 10 a.m. Be there. Be there.
Sponsors are San Pedro Belize Express, Lawrence Ellis and the Mesopotamia Committee, Carib Beer, Grace Beverage Center, Belikin, the Beer of Belize, Caribbean Tire, Northern Fisherman Cooperative, and Love FM.
It's nothing about censorship. I don't know how you can come to that. I think the big thing about the broadcasting authority is that all of these online media people, blogs or whatever, that are taking advertisements and everything, also they have to be held to the same standards that you are being held. You all are at a disadvantage competing with these bloggers. These bloggers go online and they have something and just put it out there without even checking whether it is so or not so, and all that kind of thing, and then they're collecting revenues. They're providing a kind of like a service to the public, and they need to be held to the same journalistic standards that you at Love and Creme, Channel 7, Channel 5 are being held to. And that's the main part of it. Technology has changed, so we can't continue using the same legislation that was addressing the technology of the 1990s. So we have to keep up with that. So it has absolutely nothing to do with censorship.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I heard they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God Builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
Welcome back. We continue with the evening news here on Love Television. A Belize Defense Force soldier lost his life in a traffic incident in the Toledo district this evening. That incident occurred around 4 o'clock near the Jacintoville Bridge in San Felipe Village. Early information shows that 2 soldiers stationed at Fairweather Camp, identified as Private Kuss and Private Mess, were traveling on a motorcycle when the incident occurred. The circumstances surrounding that incident remain unclear, but Private Kuss died from his injuries. The condition of the second soldier has not yet been confirmed. Police and BDF officials are expected to provide further details, and we'll bring them to you as we get it. And a 77-year-old woman lost her life in a traffic accident on the Philip Golson Highway in Belize City this morning. The victim has been identified as Erlene Elizabeth Gillett, a retired resident of the Borel Boom area. Police say the accident occurred at approximately 27 minutes after 11 near Enrique Martinez and Sons Limited. Preliminary investigations show that Gillett was crossing the highway from the direction of My Light store when she stepped from the median onto the path of a gold Dodge Caravan traveling from Ladyville towards Belize City. The vehicle, driven by 58-year-old Gregory Nicholas, struck Gillett. She sustained injuries to her head and body and was later pronounced dead. Her body was transported to the Carl Huchner and later taken to the morgue, awaiting a post-mortem examination. The Dodge Caravan sustained damage to its hood and windshield. Police processed the scene, obtaining a blood sample from Nicholas. He was also served with a notice of intended prosecution as that investigation is continuing. A Honduran national had been sent to the Belize prison after he was unable to pay a $1,000 fine for an immigration offense. 25-year-old construction worker Franklin Estralin Guerra Jacinto appeared before the Chief Magistrate in Belize City unrepresented. He pleaded guilty to failing to produce a valid permit when requested by an immigration officer. Jacinto was fined $1,000 along with $5 in court costs. He was ordered to pay the amount immediately or serve 6 months in prison. He was unable to pay, so he was taken to prison to serve the default sentence. The charge followed Jacinto's detention by police at the Raccoon Street Police Station on Sunday night. Immigration officers were called to the station and asked him to provide identification. He reportedly produced a Honduran passport, but checks revealed that it did not contain an entry stamp for Belize. A search of the Immigration Information and Data Analysis System also found no record of him entering the country legally. Well, according to immigration authorities, Jacinto admitted that he entered Belize through the Mopan River area near Benqueviejo del Carmen in October of 2023 and has remained in the country since. He was informed of his irregular immigration status and he was charged. A family dispute in Belize City has left one brother injured and another one on remand at the Belize prison. 19-year-old construction worker Brenton Conrad Archer was arraigned in Belize City Magistrates Court on a charge of aggravated assault with a dangerous instrument. He's accused of attacking his older brother, 22-year-old Joshua Lamb, with a knife. Archer, who was unrepresented, pleaded not guilty to the charge. The police prosecutor did not object to bail. However, the magistrate expressed concern that the brothers may live in the same yard or near each other and that releasing Archer without confirming their living arrangements could lead to another confrontation. Archer told the court that his brother does not live in the same yard. The magistrate nevertheless decided to withhold bail until the prosecutor can confirm the distance between their homes and determine whether suitable conditions can be imposed. Archer, who also appeared to have injuries to his eye and right hand, was taken to prison, scheduled to return to court on the 2nd of September. According to the police, that incident occurred at a home on Iguana Street on Friday, the 21st of August. They say the brothers became involved in an altercation that escalated. Lamb was later found at the Carl Huschner with cuts near his mouth and stab wounds to his left eye and cheek. Police say that Archer inflicted the injuries during the fight. Police officers attached to the Ladyville formation carried out community outreach exercises in the Old Well Road and Another World areas on Wednesday. The exercise was led by Officer Commanding the Ladyville Formation, Superintendent Marciano Mejia, joined by community policing officers, relief personnel, and other members of the formation. They visited residents to hear their concerns, gather feedback on policing and security in the area. The residents welcomed the increased police presence, called for continued engagement within the community. In the other meet and greet, which was conducted in the Other World area between 9:45 and 11 o'clock in the morning. During that exercise, the officers visited 25 homes and addressed and spoke and met with residents about community safety. The main issue identified was the safety and well-being of children living in that area. Police reassured residents that the department would continue working to maintain a safer environment through regular patrols, community engagement, and other proactive measures. They also distributed flyers promoting the department's 2026 back-to-school haircut drive. Police say the exercises were intended to strengthen relationship with the residents, identifying areas that require additional attention, and of course, continued police presence. Don't go away. We'll be back with the final segment of the news right after this break.
Commercial Cleaning and Products of Belize, CCP, formerly known as Carpet Care Plus, offers a wide variety of professional restorative cleaning services and products in Belize. With over 20 years of experience in the industry, our mission has always been to provide our customers with the best products and services for quality, safe, and environmentally friendly cleaning. What separates us from the rest? The services we offer. Fabric cleaning for all types of carpets, upholstery, walls, and drapes. Vehicle detailing for both the interior and exterior. Total restorative cleaning of ceramic and porcelain tiles for floors, walls, marble, granite, limestone, travertine, clay, and more. degreasing and polishing of the entire kitchen and all its equipment. Also, custom concrete designs. We are a supplier of the most cost-efficient and economically viable products when you buy our specialized super concentrated formulas, such as cleaners, disinfectants, deodorizers, and sanitizers. Additionally, we also carry professional cleaning equipment, such as mops, buckets, vacuums, doormats, and window equipment, which are very durable and practical. You can order any of our products online at www.ccpbelize.com. CCP Belize uses only trained technicians, professional commercialized equipment, and EPA certified products. Our products are 100% biodegradable. We also have certified green products, which are used by Green Globe approved companies. Visit us at 68 North Front Street, Belize City, or contact us at telephone 223-1820. Email us info@ccpbelize.com.
If this is an emergency situation, please call 911 right away for immediate assistance. Do not use the Crime Stoppers program in an emergency situation. Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. Remember, the more information you give the officers, the more likely it is that we will be able to identify the suspect or confirm a crime has taken place. This ultimately helps when making arrests. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Never put yourself in danger to gather information. However, if you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Once you click Submit Tip, P3 will ask to send you notifications. You choose what's right for you. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Keep that info safe, as you'll need it to check the status of your tip. Using the app, simply log back in using the PIN you created when you first opened it. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
Looking to perfect your roofing or siding project with precision? At Coop Sheet Metal, we've got the machine that makes it happen. Introducing our state-of-the-art double folding machine, equipped with advanced technology and engineered to handle complex metal bends in long pieces, various angles, and intricate profiles. Need trims up to 21 feet? Coop Sheet Metal has what you need. From modern siding to custom flashings and fascia details, Coop Sheet Metal makes the products better, faster, and more accurately. For residential, commercial, industrial, or even custom roofing, siding, and trims, all at one place. If you're not sure what you need, we will walk you through it from start to finish. At Coop Sheet Metal, it's not just about metal, it's about variety, confidence, and flawless finish. That's Coop Sheet Metal, your one-stop metal source from start to finish. Call now at 823-0118 or visit coopsheet.com.
Show your pride by respecting our national anthem whenever it's being played. We're blessed. We are free. We are proud. This is our Belize. Respect it. Cherish it. Love it.
Manholes play a critical role in keeping our sewage and drainage systems functioning properly. They allow our maintenance team to inspect, clean, and clear blockages. When covers are missing or compromised, the entire system and the public are placed at risk. Stealing or damaging manhole covers is a criminal offense and creates dangerous conditions on our streets and sidewalks. Motorists and drivers are reminded that it is an offense to park or drive on sidewalks. The weight of vehicles, large or small, can crack and dislodge manhole covers. In an ongoing effort to protect lives, property, and public infrastructure across Belize City, your Belize City Council continues its citywide manhole cover replacement program. Since the launch of this initiative, thousands of damaged or missing manhole covers have been replaced, improving safety, accessibility, and the overall appearance of our streets and sidewalks. Despite these strides, manhole covers continue to be stolen or damaged, creating serious risks for pedestrians and motorists, including severe injuries, traffic incidents, and damage to personal property. If you see a manhole cover that is broken, missing, or unsafe, report it immediately. Take a photo and share the location with us via WhatsApp at 673-9055 or by calling 227-2308. Remember, maintaining manhole covers requires a shared responsibility. Together, we can prevent accidents, protect public infrastructure, and keep Belize City safe for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Welcome back. We bring you the final segment of the evening news here on Love Television. Belize's first cohort of lactation counselors was officially certified today, a move to provide mothers with practical breastfeeding support. 6 counselors completed the training and were recognized during the National Breastfeeding Lactation Counselor Award ceremony and training at the Belize Biltmore Plaza. Minister of Health and Wellness, Kevin Bernard, says the program will give mothers and families greater access to trained professionals who can help them overcome difficulties that may prevent continued breastfeeding.
I am very happy to be here to support, and as a minister, of course, we are here to ensure that we give the support at every level, both from the directorship level, from the ministerial level, to cabinet level, for these type of initiatives that will only bring betterment and to promote a healthier breastfeeding policy, promoting healthier children, and of course healthier breastfeeding mothers. So that's what we're here to do, and I think it was a very successful training course for these 6 persons who we started off with that, and we hope that at some point we can get more that can continue to support this type of very important policy in terms of breastfeeding.
It was all organized by the ministry in partnership with UNICEF, the Pan American Health Organization, and World Health Organization, and the Institute of Nutrition of Central America and Panama, forming part of Belize's National Breastfeeding Policy 2024 to 2034 to improve breastfeeding practices and create stronger support systems for mothers. The PAHOHU representative in Belize, Dr. Karen Lewis Bell, highlights the health and nutritional benefits breastfeeding provides.
As far back as 1981, the Pan American Health Organization and the World Health Organization joined with UNICEF to launch the International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes. And in 1991, the World Health Organization again joined with UNICEF to launch the Baby Friendly Hospital Initiative. And these were initiatives really to promote and protect the health and well-being of babies, and to protect the mothers from unfair marketing by, companies that made infant formula. So the evidence has been very clear that breastfeeding is the optimal nutrition for newborns. It has the right consistency of all the nutrients that the baby needs for growth and development. It's it's at the right temperature, always available in the right quantities. And, it helps to protect the babies from infectious diseases and from chronic diseases like diabetes later in life. It also protects the mother from things like breast cancer and diabetes as well. And with this evidence, the Pan American Health Organization, the World Health Organization, has continued to provide technical support to the Minister of Health and Wellness, in terms of training healthcare workers on the importance of breastfeeding and what we call infant and young child feeding, with breastfeeding as the first part of the continuum of infant and young child feeding. We provided technical support for the development of the breastfeeding policy, the development of the national nutrition policy, and also for the printing and training in infant and young child feeding in terms of their manuals. So we provide a lot of technical cooperation to the Minister of Health and Wellness to build the capacity in healthcare workers.
And more breastfeeding-friendly spaces in healthcare facilities and workplaces have been created. In May of 2024, the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital opened a lactation lounge in its maternity ward, giving mothers and employees a safe and comfortable area to breastfeed or express milk. More recently, UNICEF and the ministry partnered with Transparent BPO to establish 2 equipped workplace lactation rooms. Those facilities are intended to help the mothers continue breastfeeding after returning to work while balancing their employment and caregiving responsibilities. Consumers will pay slightly less for liquefied petroleum gas or LPG tomorrow. According to the Supplies Control Unit, it announced a 9-cent reduction per gallon for the latest shipment of imported cooking gas. The decrease is primarily attributed to a lower acquisition price. Under the new controlled prices, LPG will retail in urban areas at $1.35 per pound or $5.92 per pound. The urban rate applies to all 6 districts. Consumers in rural areas across the districts will pay $1.38 per pound or $6.02 per gallon. Belize and the United States are celebrating 25 years of successfully keeping Belize free of the Mediterranean fruit fly, one of the world's most dangerous and destructive agricultural pests. The milestone was recognized during a ceremony in Placencia attended by U.S. Chargé d'Affaires Rhonda Slusher and Kelly Moore, Administrator of the United States Department of Agriculture's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service. Belizean officials, commissioners, technical experts, and program personnel. The wider regional MedFly program is also marking 50 years of cooperation. It began in 1975 as a partnership involving the United States, Mexico, and Guatemala, and later expanded to include Belize. The program is designed to contain the pest in Central America and prevent its spread into pest-free areas further north. The Mediterranean fruit fly can attack hundreds of varieties of fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Female flies lay their eggs inside produce, where the larvae feed and cause the fruit to rot. An outbreak could lead to crop losses, costly eradication measures, and restrictions on agricultural exports. Belize's medfly-free status has therefore been important to local farmers and exporters, allowing the country to access international markets while protecting investments in fruit and vegetable production. And with that story, we end this evening's news here on Love Live at 6. Thank you for choosing us. Stay with us. As you know, the mass camps have been active over the city this last week, and we have been visiting them on a nightly basis. I think we are visiting 2 tonight, and you can join them, and you can enjoy all the festivities. Those will come up right after this report from the Weather Bureau. To all of you, from here, Ernesto Vasquez, and the crew here at Love TV, have a good night.
Good evening. Relatively moist and slightly unstable conditions prevail. And in the 24-hour forecast, skies will be cloudy tonight and then sunny with a few cloudy spells tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms will be generally isolated, and then a few more are expected over the south for tonight. Low temperatures will then reach around 81 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 74 inland, and then 68 in the mountains. High temperatures for tomorrow will reach around 89 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 94 inland, and then 80 up in the hills. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to northeast at 10 to 20 knots, with sea conditions being choppy. Then high tides occur at 10:04 tonight and at 9:56 tomorrow morning. Low tides at 3:47 tomorrow morning, then at 4:40 tomorrow afternoon. The full moon rose at 5:59 tonight, then will set at 5:05 tomorrow morning, while sunset was at 6:10 this evening and sunrise at 5:38 tomorrow morning. And now for the extended forecast for Friday night and Saturday. There will be a few cloudy spells with isolated showers or thunderstorms. And now for the sargassum update. There is a high chance that more sargassum mats could drift ashore, producing moderate to major impacts over coastal destinations across the country during the next few days. And finally, for the tropical weather outlook. At 3 p.m., Tropical Storm Dolly was located near latitude 13.7 north and longitude 40.7 west, or about 1,425 miles east of the Leeward Islands. Dolly was moving to the west at 24 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. Please note that this system poses no threat to Belize. And this has been this evening's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.